There comes a moment in every life where silence becomes unbearable, not the silence of a quiet room or a lonely night, but the silence of potential, the silence of a soul unspoken, power unrealized, a life half-lived. And you feel it, don't you? That ache in your chest that has nothing to do with pain and everything to do with the fact that you know you are capable of more. It's not a whisper. It's a roar inside you, muffled only by fear, dulled only by distraction, ignored only by those who have made peace with mediocrity. But you're not one of them. You are standing at the edge of a precipice, and the world would have you believe that you're waiting for a sign, for destiny to reach down and tap you on the shoulder and say, "Now, now is the time to become what you were born to be." But that's not how it works. That has never been how it works. You are not waiting for destiny. You are creating it. With your thoughts, with your choices, with the war you wage inside yourself every single day. Carl Jung once wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are, not who they expect you to be, not who the world says you must be to be accepted, admired, or applauded, but who you truly are beneath the masks, beneath the survival mechanisms, beneath the fear. Becoming that version of yourself, that is your path. And it begins not in some grand epiphany, but in the mindset you choose when no one is watching. Your mindset is the architect of your reality. It is the lens through which you see the world, but more importantly, the lens through which you see yourself. Every belief you hold about your worth, your ability, your potential, these are not objective truths. They are stories. Stories etched into your mind by culture, by trauma, by the voices of others who were too afraid to live out their own potential and so made it their mission to silence yours. But you can rewrite them. That is the miracle and the burden of being human. You are both the author and the reader of your life's narrative, and the story can change. If you have the courage to change the storyteller. You see, belief isn't passive. It's a decision, a discipline, a sword you wield in the face of doubt, forged in the fires of your own becoming. The world is full of people who surrendered their birthright of greatness because someone once told them they couldn't. But those people are not your judges. They are your warning signs. Do not become what they became. Do not make your doubt sacred. You were not born broken. You were born buried beneath layers of conditioning, opinion, and unconscious fear. The journey of your future is not about fixing something defective. It's about remembering what was always there. Jung called it individuation, the integration of all that you are into one unified self. And it is a war between who you pretend to be and who you truly are, a war between comfort and clarity, between illusion and vision. And clarity, real clarity, does not arrive like a gift. It is chiseled out of confusion. It is found by those who walk into the fog and refuse to turn back. You do not wait for the path to be lit. You light it yourself with the fire of your persistence. Most people are looking for certainty, but the future belongs to those who are willing to move without it. Not recklessly, but with vision. Vision is not about knowing exactly where you'll end up. It's about knowing who you are becoming along the way. It's the inner compass that whispers in the dark when the world is screaming nonsense. It's not about goals carved in stone. It's about direction carved in soul. And that direction is yours to claim, but only if you stop asking for permission. The tragedy of modern life is not that people aim too high and miss. It's that they aim too low and hit. Vision elevates you, not because it shows you what's possible, but because it makes impossible things worth chasing. It breaks the gravitational pull of doubt, of conformity, of the slow anesthetic death of playing small. But vision without purpose is just a dream. Purpose gives it weight, gravity, meaning. Purpose is not some cosmic lottery ticket you win after years of searching. It's not gifted to the chosen. It is built, brick by brick, choice by choice, forged in the tension between what you desire and what you're willing to endure. Purpose is not comfort. It is responsibility. The responsibility to live your truth, even when it costs you everything you thought you needed to feel safe. Most people don't fear failure. They fear purpose. Because real purpose demands that you shed your excuses, your distractions, your dependence on validation. It demands that you face yourself. Not the self you show the world, but the one that lives behind your eyes when everything else is stripped away. That self does not lie. It knows what you're capable of, and it will haunt you until you rise to meet it. But vision and purpose without discipline is self-betrayal. Without discipline, even the brightest light dims, and that is where many fall, not because they lacked the dream, but because they lacked the endurance to bring it to life. Discipline is not a punishment. It is the highest form of self-respect. It is saying to the universe, I will not waste this fire. I will not squander this breath. Discipline is sacred rebellion against entropy, the force that wants you to stay the same, stay asleep, stay small. You want to change your life? Then make your actions sacred. Make your habits holy. Show up when it's inconvenient. Show up when it hurts. Show up when no one's clapping. That's where the shift happens. Not in the inspiration, but in the repetition, in the boring, in the quiet, in the daily ritual of proving to yourself that you are not just a product of your past. You are the architect of your future. And that future is not some far-off land you will someday stumble into. It is something you are building with every decision, every habit, every defiant refusal to give up when the world says you should. Action is not the effect of motivation. It is the cause. Waiting to feel ready is the great delusion of the unfinished. You move first. The feeling follows. You're not waiting for destiny. You're creating it. Gratitude. It sounds soft, doesn't it? Like something reserved for the quiet corners of life. But that's the lie. Gratitude is not weakness. It is the fiercest kind of power. The kind that cannot be bought, cannot be broken. Because the one who can give thanks in the middle of the storm, that one cannot be defeated. Gratitude is not just for the good days. It is for the days that break you open and dare you to keep breathing. It's for the mornings when everything in you wants to stay in bed, stay hidden, stay numb. But you rise anyway. You rise and you say, thank you. Not because it's easy, not because you're naive, but because you understand something most never will, that even in the pain there is a gift. Even in the struggle there is meaning. Even in the fall there is momentum. This isn't spiritual fluff. This is strategy. Gratitude sharpens your vision. It clears the fog of entitlement, comparison, and scarcity that keeps so many stuck. It reminds you that you are not empty. You are becoming. And what you focus on, you amplify. So if you amplify what is lacking, you will live in lack. But if you amplify what is present, strength, breath, opportunity, then you become a magnet for more. Not because of magic, but because of momentum. But life will test that. It will tear down your comfort so it can rebuild your character. And when it does, the question isn't, why me? It's, what now? Because adaptability isn't optional. It is survival. It is evolution. And your future belongs to the one who can bend without breaking, shift without losing direction, rebuild without forgetting who they are. Jung said, only that which changes remains true. Truth is not static. Purpose is not rigid. Your values, your core, those stay. But the path, that will twist, that will demand reinvention. And reinvention is not betrayal. It is obedience to growth, to timing, to what life is asking of you now. Adaptability is the art of listening, not to the noise outside, but to the movement within. And when that movement says pivot, you pivot. When it says shed, you shed. When it says, begin again, you begin again. Not because it's convenient, but because stagnation is death dressed up as safety. And yet, there will be days when no strategy feels enough, when loss is too loud, when failure is too fresh, when the weight of becoming feels like too much to carry. That's when resilience steps in, not as motivation, but as memory. The memory of what you've survived, the battles you've already won, the strength that didn't arrive, it was revealed. Resilience isn't the absence of pain. It is your refusal to let pain define you. There is a part of you, ancient, silent, untouchable, that no setback can reach. It is the part of you that watched your world collapse and still chose to stand. That part doesn't speak in words. It speaks in will, in fire, in defiance. You carry the lineage of every soul who refused to die with their music still in them. Do not let your lineage down. And if you think you're too broken, too behind, too late, know this: that belief is a cage made of someone else's fear, and you were not born to live in someone else's prison. You are not here to repeat history. You are here to create it. And that requires learning, not just facts, not just theories, but learning the art of becoming. The humility to say, I was wrong. The courage to say, I didn't know, but now I will. The hunger to consume not just knowledge, but wisdom. And wisdom only comes through lived experience. Life will teach you more than any book if you let it. Every failure is a curriculum. Every heartbreak, a lesson. Every disappointment, a disguised invitation to level up your understanding of who you are and what you're capable of. You cannot become powerful without walking through powerlessness. You cannot lead without first learning how to follow truth over ego. And you cannot teach what you have not lived. So live in a way that leaves no part of you unexplored. Don't just learn success, learn yourself. Learn your patterns, learn your shadows. Jung spoke often of the shadow, the parts of us we repress, reject, deny. But what he knew and what the world forgets is this: the shadow is not your enemy. It is your gateway. Your future demands integration, not just of your light, but of your darkness. Because in that darkness lies your creativity, your strength, your edge. The most dangerous person is not the one who only knows the light. It's the one who has met their own darkness and made peace with it. Because that person is whole. That person cannot be manipulated. That person knows who they are, not just in theory, but in fire. And it is in that fire that destiny is not found. It is forged. So what are you waiting for? A sign, a guarantee, the perfect moment? Here it is. You, breathing, awake, capable. You are not a spectator in your own life. You are the storm. You are the force. You are the myth in motion. No more waiting. No more hoping someone will come save you. No more apologizing for the weight of your potential. The future is not out there waiting for you like some prize behind a locked door. It is being built, moment by moment, by the choices you make when no one sees. By the battles you fight in silence, by the standards you refuse to lower, by the love you choose to give when it's hard, by the truth you choose to speak when it's risky, by the belief you carry when the world forgets your name. This is not about destiny written in stars. This is about destiny written in sweat and scars and silence turned into fire. You are not waiting for destiny. You are creating it. Every day you stand at a crossroads, though you may not realize it. Not the dramatic kind marked with flashing lights or triumphant music. No, this one is quieter. It shows up in the mundane, in how you speak to yourself when you fail, in whether you press snooze or rise, in how you treat the people you think can do nothing for you. These small choices, they are the chisel. And your future is the sculpture. The question is never whether destiny exists. It's whether you'll have the audacity to shape it. People say, Everything happens for a reason. But Jung would have challenged that with a sharper blade. He didn't believe in hiding behind the comfort of cosmic fate. He believed in responsibility. He believed that the unconscious, when left unexamined, runs your life and you will call it fate. That's not destiny. That's abdication. You were not born to sleepwalk through a life designed by someone else's projections. You were born to awaken. And awakening is not a light switch. It's a series of fires, each one lit by the choice to no longer be a passenger, each one demanding more honesty than the last, because truth will cost you your illusions. And that is the toll for transformation. You will have to unlearn the parts of yourself that were built for approval. You will have to face the dreams you buried just to make others comfortable. You will have to mourn the versions of you that played small because they thought survival was the only option. And above all, you will have to confront the fact that no one is coming to do this for you. But in that confrontation, you will discover something far more powerful than inspiration. You will discover agency, the raw, unfiltered power of ownership. And ownership is not about control. It's about authorship. You don't get to dictate the winds of life, but you damn sure decide how you set your sail. You decide the tone of your voice when you speak about yourself. You decide what standard you accept. You decide whether to keep carrying what was never yours to hold. Responsibility is not blame, it's liberation. Because when you own your story, no one else gets to write your ending. And maybe, for the first time, you realize you are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. So stop measuring your life by clocks and calendars. Measure it by moments of truth. Moments when you chose courage over comfort, vision over validation, purpose over passivity. That is the real timeline of becoming. And make no mistake, becoming is violent, not in destruction, but in revelation. It strips you. It dismantles your excuses. It challenges everything you thought you knew about who you are and what you're capable of. And it gives you the gift of clarity, not as comfort, but as a mirror that doesn't flatter, a mirror that demands you rise. And when you do, when you look into that mirror and no longer flinch, what you'll see is not perfection. You'll see power. The quiet, unshakable power of a human who has walked through hell and chosen to keep walking. That is where destiny begins. Not in dreams, not in hope, but in motion. Because action is what separates the awakened from the asleep. Not busyness, not noise, but aligned, relentless, disciplined motion. The kind that moves not to prove, but to build. Not to impress, but to express. The kind of action that honors the fire within you, not the expectations outside you. And let this be clear. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom. It is its foundation. There is no freedom without form, no creation without constraint. Your discipline is the gatekeeper of your destiny. It protects the sacred from the trivial. It makes your life a signal in a world drowning in noise. Most people want the prize, but not the path. They want the glow, but not the grind. But you are not most people. You are not here to be entertained. You are here to evolve. And that evolution is not found in comfort. It is found in commitment. Commitment to doing the work even when it's boring. Commitment to truth even when it's painful. Commitment to legacy even when no one's watching. Because the truth is, someone is watching. Your younger self. The one who dreamed louder. The one who believed bigger. The one who hadn't yet been convinced to shrink. And they are not impressed by your paycheck. They are not impressed by your followers. They are watching to see if you'll become what they believed you could be. Don't let them down. You carry that child with you. And also you carry the elder you will one day become. The one who will look back on these days, not for their ease, but for their crucible. And they are not hoping you have an easy life. They are hoping you live a worthy one that meant something, one that mattered. So when the pressure comes, and it will, Don't ask for it to be lighter. Ask to be stronger. When the temptation to numb shows up, and it will, don't give in. Go deeper. When you feel like quitting, and you will, remember, this is not the end. This is the forging. This is the fire you asked for when you said, I want to grow. Because the moment you asked for greatness, you invited the storms that shape it. This is the cost, and it's worth it. Because on the other side of this fire, you won't find a crown. You'll find clarity. You'll find capacity. You'll find the unshakable knowing that you are not here to chase potential. You are here to fulfill it. You are not waiting for destiny. You are creating it. Right now, word by word, step by step, flame by flame. And as you move, through fear, through failure, through the deafening quiet between milestones, something begins to happen. Something deeper than motivation, something holier than hype. You begin to remember, not intellectually, but spiritually, in your bones, in your breath. You remember who you were before the world told you who to be. You begin to remember that your soul was not made to be efficient. It was made to be on fire. You were not born to become a mirror of society's expectations. You were born to disrupt them. You were not born to merely navigate the world. You were born to reimagine it. And that remembering, it is the revolution. You will feel it in strange moments, in the tension between what is easy and what is true, in the resistance you face when you start to speak from your deepest voice, in the quiet realization that your future will never be created in your comfort zone, only protected there. But that protection is a cage dressed as kindness, and you are not here to be safe. You are here to be free. And freedom requires sacrifice, not the sacrifice of your joy or your soul, but the sacrifice of illusion, of pretending you have time to waste, of waiting for some external force to bless your path before you begin walking it. The world doesn't owe you a guarantee, and that's the beauty of it. Because if nothing is promised, then everything is possible. If the outcome is not predetermined, then you have power. The power to influence, to disrupt, to create. Destiny is not a door you wait to open. It is a wall you break through. With blood, with breath, with belief. Not because it's noble, but because the alternative is to live a life of quiet resignation and call it maturity. There is nothing mature about shrinking. There is nothing noble about settling. There is nothing courageous about choosing numbness over possibility. And yet, the world will offer you comfort over and over again. The comfort of distraction, the comfort of conformity, the comfort of fitting in with the masses whose dreams have been replaced with devices, whose fire has been replaced with formulas. But you are not here for comfort. You are here to carve meaning out of chaos, to reach into the void and pull something out with your bare hands, to build something that echoes. Not because it will be seen, but because it is true. That's what the world needs now. Not more noise, but more truth. Your truth. Your voice not filtered through fear. Your vision not diluted by doubt. Your soul not censored by convenience. Because the truth is, no one can walk this road for you. No mentor, no motivation, no mystical sign. It's your feet that have to hit the ground. It's your heart that has to keep beating when the path grows dark. It's your soul that has to stay awake when the world around you wants to sleep. And you will want to quit. Not once. Many times. In quiet ways. In loud ways. In subtle self-sabotage and in dramatic collapse. But every time you do, you'll be faced with a choice. Break down or break open. Break open. Let the pain teach you. Let the failure refine you. Let the heartbreak shape your art, not your identity. The most powerful people you will ever meet are not the ones who avoided the fire. They are the ones who learned to build in the middle of it, who took the heat and forged something holy. A mission, a movement, a masterpiece. You are not late. You are not too damaged. You are not too far behind. You are exactly where the fire needs to find you. Right here, right now. So the only question left is this. Will you answer? Will you rise when there's no applause? Will you act when the result is uncertain? Will you give when there's no guarantee of return? Will you stand when it's easier to kneel? Because the world does not need another person waiting. It needs you awake. It needs you building. It needs you daring to be fully alive in a world that sells sedation. This is not about becoming superhuman. This is about becoming fully human. To feel deeply, to think freely, to live fiercely, to love with fire, to stand with integrity when everything around you begs you to bend. This is not about being perfect. It's about being precise, with your time, with your energy, with your life. Because every moment you spend waiting is a moment your destiny waits for you. And it will wait, but not forever. Eventually, the window closes. Eventually, the silence becomes cement. Eventually, a life unlived becomes a weight that drags you under. So breathe in, feel it, the weight of your potential. Breathe out. Release the lie that you are not ready. And move, build, speak, stand. And remember, you are not waiting for destiny. You are creating it. Every word, every choice, every moment you refuse to settle. This is the truth about your future. It does not arrive, it is forged by fire, by faith, by you.